Hello everybody, welcome back to another episode of the Junket folder. Now today I'm very excited about my guest that I have on the show. This is episode 7 of the Junket folder, and for those who do not know me, 7 is my lucky number. I was born in July. 7 has just always been a number that I've associated myself with. I was also born in 97. I just love that number so much. I have a good feeling about this show. Thank you so much for all of the support that's come through for the last few episodes. To the newcomers who are just joining us and finding us for the first time, hello, welcome. Come on in, grab a cup of tea. It's all good. It's just chill. Today I have a guest with me that I absolutely love. She is an amazing BBC social contributor. She was one of the first social contributors that I ever saw, and I believe it was the video. I will leave links down below to her channel because it's just so funny. But the video that I saw for the first time was going to the drive-through with a friend who doesn't want anything, and then they change their mind and then they want everything on the menu. It was just really good, and I thought it was absolutely amazing, and I knew I had to get to know this person. I've also had the privilege of being photographed by this person because she's a stellar photographer and her stuff is just stunning, so beautiful. Without any further ado, I'm just going to jump straight into this and introduce my guest, and I hope that you will all join me in saying a hearty hello to my guest today, Rebecca!
Oh, thank you! That was so cute. Thank you. I'm blushing.
It's just a heat. It's fine.
I know. Open a window.
It is really hot where I am. How are you?
I'm roasting. It is absolutely roasting. Like, all the windows are open, but at the same time, there's just no breeze. It's just horrible.
I think
nice, but not nice.
Linda's taking a holiday. I think that she's just decided to go away. But speaking of hot, I do have to ask, what were you thinking doing a hot noodle challenge a few nights ago?
Did you see?
Catch it, and I have to say it was very hard to watch. Your mascara was running down your face with heat, and I thought, oh my, why am I watching this? This is torture. This is awful. Why is she doing this to herself?
Well, the thing was, I didn't realise it was going to be hot on that day for the weather. Genuinely, I had thought about it. I had bought the stuff, the noodles for it, when it was raining. I was like, oh, that'll be fun. And then it came to the day and it was like 26 degrees, and I was like, oh my God, I have to eat these noodles. And in my head, I was like, no, they won't be that hot, because when I was at university the first year, I ended up eating like pot noodles for the full year. I don't know how I survived, by the way, just saying. But I was like, oh yeah, I used to eat noodles all the time. And then I did that, and it's the hottest thing I've ever eaten in my life. I honestly, I was just shocked. Like, literally, it wasn't even fake tear. It was literally, I couldn't stop my eyes running. And I was like, what is life? I don't know what I'm doing. Oh.
I thought it was absolutely mental, and I did catch that at the start when you said you just basically lived on ramen for like a long time and it gave you the bulk, so you were questioning like why you were all of a sudden doing this challenge. But I remember watching it in my garden when it was roasting. I was even more warm watching it, and I was like, oh my God, someone give this girl like a big mug of something really cold. Like, you had milk and you had water and stuff, but I was like, that's not enough. You had like that much milk in your carton.
I know, like, I went downstairs before it, and I still live with my family at home and stuff, and I went down to the fridge and I was like, I'm just taking this milk, and my dad's like, is that going to be enough? And I was like, yeah, it'll be fine. And then I remember after I filmed it, they had watched it downstairs and didn't tell me until after, and I get so cringed out when any of my family or friends watch anything I do. I don't mind them watching. Yeah, I don't mind them watching it in their own time, headphones on. But they watched it on the TV downstairs, and I went down after, and my dad was like, "That was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen you do, but you should have took the big jug of milk." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm very silly. Sorry."
That's really funny. Like, I think a lot of people that do videos or do creative things, we do tend to get embarrassed if our family members watch. And because I still live with my family too, so sometimes I'll upload a video on YouTube and they'll get a notification and then they'll like bang on the wall, like, Charlotte, come down, we're gonna put this on the TV, we're gonna watch. I'm like, I've been staring at my screen for like 9 hours. I don't want to watch this again. And then they'll watch and they'll laugh and then they'll give me critiques on things that maybe I should do differently next time. And I'm just like, oh.
The worst thing is when you base it off like not a family, you don't base it off a family member, but you kind of show that it's your sister or your mum or whatever, and you're not basing it off them, but obviously it's their sort of title, so they're like, that's not me, and I'm like, I know, I'm just playing a character. disregard it. It's fine.
Yeah, that's what I do with Bronwyn and Romy. I've played them a lot in social videos because Romy's been in one. Bronwyn is a little tougher to try and get in front of the camera. She's so funny though, so I'm like, Bronwyn, please come on and do something funny. But she's just, she's the artist, so her art is, it's not her, it's what her hands can do, or whatever.
Yeah.
But whenever I play them, they both get very insulted and they're like, that's not me, but then they'll say to each other, oh, but you do that, and yes, you are like that. So they can see it in each other, but they don't see it in themselves. And again, I'm not trying to like be insulting. I'm just they wanted a sketch with like multiple characters, and I can't just keep making up people. So I was like, I'll just play my sisters. It's like really easy. I grew up with them. I know their tics. I know what they're like. How they move their mouth and stuff like that. So
exactly.
You just pick up their mannerisms and stuff.
I'm the same, honestly. Like the amount of times I've been a mum in a video, or even my gran at one point. I remember I went to my gran's after I'd filmed it, and I went, Gran, I'm really sorry, but just so you know, it's not based on you, but I'm playing a gran in a video. And she was like, oh, okay. And I was like, okay, just don't be disappointed in me.
That's the one where she gave you a carrot because you were vegetarian and you didn't want to eat.
Yeah, because my gran would never do that. Like literally, I was like, Gran, I know you overfeed me. This is not a hint that you need to feed me more. Literally, you're the best gran in the world. It's not aimed at you. I felt so bad. I was like, it's not you.
So we're just going to jump straight into your questions because I know you're anxious to start answering them.
I wonder what they are.
I think I've done them pretty easy. I think the last couple of questions I've asked people, they're ooh and then and quite a lot, like really thinking. So I've tried to make it a bit less like that. There are a few. I still need to that. But the first one should be fairly simple. It's a fun one. Okay, so Rebecca, what would be your last meal if you were on death row?
Oh gosh. I'm a foodie, so that's so hard. Oh, and it's such an important question. I'm gonna say dal and rice with chips because I'm a vegetarian. So it's like a lentil curry. And it's very good.
Like
I really enjoy it.
Starter, a main, and a dessert. Is that what you're going for?
Oh, starter. Oh, hold on then.
You get the whole thing. Yeah, you get the whole
3 courses. Oofed. This could take a while. No, I would have for starter mozzarella sticks, as my dog barks in the background. She agrees. Mozzarella sticks. Then for main, I would have. I would have pizza because you can never really get a bad pizza, so that would always be good. And then for dessert, I would have chocolate cake with ice cream because that's just so good. So yeah.
I love asking that question. That's brilliant. A lot of people go for chocolate cake for their like dessert.
I know.
I just want a tub of Ben and Jerry's or something. I'm so plain.
Ben and Jerry's is well good, but I don't know what it is about chocolate cake. I will always pick chocolate cake if it's on the menu, like all the time. That's just my go-to. Would
you have a slice, or would you go full like Bruce Ballcroft from Matilda and have like an entire chocolate cake to yourself?
I'm gonna go with the Matilda way, honestly. Full chocolate cake, glass plate. If that's my last meal, I'm having the glass plate. I'm licking that glass plate as well, all over my face. Nothing to lose.
I'll start to clip that because there might be people that don't know what I'm talking
about. Yeah, that's actually true. I just remember watching it as a kid and being like, wow, that cake looks good. Good for him.
Good for him. I know. He looks really, like, he's glowed up, by the way.
Oh, really? I didn't know.
Yeah.
I will have to look him up.
This is a question that I asked Omar and he thought was a good question, so I'm going to ask you the same one. 5 things that you would take with you on a deserted island.
Oh, my dog. No, can I take people, or is it just objects, or is it any?
Yeah.
Because if I had to take 5 things, I think I would take a person for company. So I would take Omar. I would take. Oh, what would I can't really take electronics because you can't charge them. That's the issue.
I mean, you could. You'd only have them for a certain amount of time.
Yeah. So I think I'll leave the electronics. I think I would take, one of those water things that you seen. Have you seen the Hunger Games?
Yeah.
And you stab the tree with like the wee pipe thing and the water comes out.
Water from the tree. Yeah.
Yes, so I would bring one of them because that's smart. So Omar, that, so I've company, water, maybe like a lighter just so that I can light stuff initially, and so that's 3, and then like a boat.
So you can escape.
An inflatable like boat. Or an inflatable like unicorn pull ring or something, just so I can get away.
Aww.
And then like, what else?
Oh,
A fishing rod. Oh my god, a fishing rod. I'm vegetarian, but if I was on an island, I would just eat the fish, so it's fine.
fair enough.
But yeah, a boat. The most important thing. I don't even know what Omar said to that, but I'm excited to watch his and see.
I'll tell you one thing he said. He said that he would bring you with him.
Aww,
No, you said
that's
thing. Sounds like this.
that's cute. I didn't know. He didn't say anything. He just said, "You'll have to watch and see," and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Have to watch and see what she says.
Yeah.
Okay, question 3. Right, I've written 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. What have I done? This is right. We're on question 3. I'm sorry.
It's
Okay.
all good.
Okay. Do you have any unpopular opinions?
Oh, do I? I've actually never thought about this. This is a really good question. Unpopular opinions. I do have one, but I have met one other person that has the same opinion, but not a lot. The tomato ketchup is revolting. I hate it. I absolutely hate tomato ketchup. But it's not really an unpopular opinion, but I just know that a lot of people are like, what? And I'm like, I hate it. The smell of it, the look, gives me, I can't stand it.
Watery at the top and you put it on.
I don't like it. It's so gross. And I know people love it, and I'm like,
yeah. I don't mind it. I mean, if it's there, I'll have it. I'm not like a must-have ketchup person.
Yeah.
I love Nando's Peronaise. Like, that's like my go-to chip.
Yeah.
That stuff's beautiful. But do you, right, so I love ketchup, right? I don't mind it. I don't like tomatoes. Are you like that at all? Because I know
I like tomatoes.
Right. Because I know there's people out there that are like that. They like tomatoes, but they hate ketchup, or they hate ketchup.
Yeah.
Tomatoes, I can't do a tomato. I can't do it.
Is there something about the tomato, or is it just?
You know what? I love salsa. Like, I'll eat salsa if it's.
Oh yeah.
Like lime and the coriander and all that stuff. I'm a massive foodie, so like I love all that stuff. If it's on like something that's cooked, like a pizza or a quiche, I'll eat it then. But see if someone was to give it to me raw, I just couldn't do it, and I don't know why.
No.
I've always been like that. My wee sister used to just take beef tomatoes and munch on them, like just
munch on them.
Yeah, just
wee tomato.
Yeah, like a huge like beef tomato. Like,
jeez.
So
I don't know. Like I never used to eat tomatoes. I used to be like disgusted by vegetables, but when I became veggie, I kind of had to eat them. So, I think I just ate them, and then I ended up liking them. But I just can't stand ketchup. But tomatoes are fine. I could eat like a bit of a tomato easy. But yeah, and then I'm like, nah, I'm okay.
Maybe hot.
But yeah.
All right, question 4. Right, we're back up to speed now with this. I don't know what I've done. I think I've taken questions away and then just forgot to change the numbers.
Oh, it's all good.
So, what is one movie that you would recommend that everybody sees?
Oh, I wasn't prepared for this because I get asked this. Like, it's one of those icebreaker questions that people always go, "Oh, what's your favorite movie?" But my favorite movie is not one I would recommend everybody to see, because my favorite movie is 50 First Dates, which is not even a
good movie.
Yeah, I know. And I was like,
Sandler.
Yes.
That's a good movie.
I know, but it's like not one of these critically acclaimed amazing ones, but it's my favorite. It's my go-to movie if I'm like, you know what, I want to watch something funny, light-hearted. Well, it's not really light-hearted, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's good and I like it. It's really funny. But one movie I would recommend for someone to see. I'm a geek, so I would probably say Star Wars or Lord of the Rings. I'll see. There's a fly in my room. Welcome to the hot weather. I'm gonna say Star Wars.
You'd say Star Wars?
Right. Yeah, because I love Star Wars. You don't like it, do you?
Right. I saw the newer one that came out, like, you know, the one everyone like lost their minds over, like in 2015 or something.
Mhm.
Loved it. Had never seen anything to do with Star Wars before that, but I knew who everybody was. Like, I know
Yeah.
Harrison Ford's character and like Princess Leia and all that, because you just kind of know.
Yeah.
And then I tried to watch the very first one and I just couldn't get into it. I just couldn't get
Yeah.
but I loved The Force Awakens so much. And
Yeah, it's really good.
and God love him, I think he thought, yes, that's it. She loves Star Wars. She's perfect. And then it's like, nah, I don't like the others. It's one of those things. I think you either love it or you hate it. I don't hate it. I think
Mhm.
obviously each to their own. I'm just a huge, just a huge Twilight fan. So I'm just like, that's my Star Wars.
That's understandable though, because I used to be obsessed with Twilight when I was like a teenager. I was obsessed. I think I still have the pencil cases and stuff that I got when I was there at that stage. But like, I still love Twilight. I would still watch it. But like, I just always loved Star Wars from like a young age. So that's like why I would always say that, or Lord of the Rings, because I was always like my mom and my brother and that watched it.
Like if you
So
grew up reading the books or watching the films, then of course you're gonna
yeah.
watch. Yeah. I just grew up watching like Disney films and stuff, so I didn't grow up with like a franchise. It's
Mhm.
Twilight was my first franchise, so that was it. After that,
Oh yeah.
I was done. And I turned 24 yesterday, and I
Oh
still
yeah, happy birthday by the way. I know I messaged you, but at the same time I'm gonna say it. Happy birthday.
just gonna tell people I'm 22 because I don't want to be 24.
Yo, I turned 26 2 weeks ago and I was like, I'm not 26, that doesn't count. We have a pandemic, it does not count.
No,
Mm-mm.
no.
Oh,
Okay,
man.
well, the reason I was asking about a movie was because I don't know what to watch tonight, so I'm putting the big screen up, so I might give Star Wars a go.
You're like, oh no, it's pass on Star. The new ones are really good. I did really enjoy them. I know they got a lot of hate from like the die-hard Star Wars fans. I loved them. I think they were really good. Kylo Ren is really cool. Just saying. And so is Rey as well. She's super cool. And then I wasn't too keen on like the first, second, and third one, which was made after the old ones. Is really confusing. The old ones
Ones or something.
were switched, yeah. So the really older ones in like the 80s, 70s, I can't remember when they came out. They're my favorite ones, and then the new ones, and then the middle
Well,
weird ones.
what was it? Rogue One, was that the one with like Felicity Jones or something?
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
A Star Warsy type of film, and I know that was set
Mhm.
before like all the other
It's so confusing.
years for the hair. No, but I enjoyed that. So I enjoy the world of it, and like Baby Yoda is really cute. But that's my history with.
Baby Yoda is super cute though. Just
Okay. Question five. Right. It says 4, but I'm pretty sure it's 5. Jesus.
yeah, I think it's 5. I think.
All right. Where is the most beautiful travel destination that you've ever visited?
Oman, where I will probably end up at some point. But Amalfi Coast or Oman, because Amalfi Coast is just gorgeous and it's all these colourful houses like built into the cliff, and it was so nice. And I just remember when I was there, I was really hangry that day.
Right.
So God bless Omar, I was so hangry that day. I get really badly hangry. And I remember sitting on the beach in a hoodie and jeans. It was roasting. I only had a melted twirl, and I was like looking about going, this is gorgeous, but I'm so mad because I'm hungry. And I literally couldn't look at anything because I was just angry and there were so many steps. But it's gorgeous at the same time. It's really nice. Just they don't tell you about all the stairs to get down to the beaches and stuff, but it's lovely. And Oman's just gorgeous. So
The first place you mentioned somewhere in the UK, or is that somewhere abroad?
sorry. That's in Italy. That one.
Okay.
Sorry, that's my bad.
I did.
Yeah, it's southern Italy. We went just before the pandemic hit, I think. Not just before, but like 6 months before, and then pandemic hit. So, but yeah, Italy. It was really nice. It was one of those ones where we never planned to go, and then I think there was really cheap flights one day, and I was like, "Yo, this isn't like 4 months. Do you want to book? Let's just go. It's cheap."
Give it a try. So I'm curious to know, what was your favourite subject when you were in high school?
Art, hands down.
I'm just kidding. Why? Why art?
I love painting, I love drawing, all of that. So for me, when I was in art, it was like literally, I thought, oh, thank God I have art next, because I would go up to school, like the subject art and the department, and I would literally just sit down and paint for like 2 hours if it was like a double period. I thought, oh, this is so good. I don't need to like write or anything or not even properly think. I would just think about where shadows are. And I just loved it. Like I love doing like modern studies and stuff because my mum is a moddies teacher and stuff. So I always loved doing modern studies. But like for me, I just loved going to art class. And I was like, oh, this is such a relief. And you can chat away.
Did you like your art teacher? Did that have something to do with it? Maybe that maybe they were good people or no?
No, I would say no. Like I had quite a few art teachers. There was one, I think one of the teachers, if they liked you, they liked you. If they didn't like you, they really didn't like you. So I think I was in their good books, which was good for me, but one of my friends wasn't. And I just always remember it wasn't nice for her, but for me, I was like, okay, I can just kind of do my thing and nothing happens. But yeah, it was really good. There was one teacher that really made it a lot, like she was fantastic. I just remember her, like if I had an idea for something, because we had to do like my go-to was painting, so I would just always want to do painting. And one time we had a thing that we had to do collages and stuff for like a landmark in Glasgow, and I picked the Riverside Museum, and I just could not get my head around collages and stuff. I was like, I genuinely cannot think of anything. And she was just like, right, let's sit down, let's think of the shape and all that. She was so cool. And I just remember having her in like 6th year quite a lot. But yeah, she was really cool. Art was awesome, and I still like to paint and stuff now, so it's pretty good.
You followed what was the artist's name again? You followed a YouTube tutorial on how to paint, and you did it alongside another
Bob
artist.
Ross.
That's the one. Yeah.
Oh, Bob. Love Bob Ross.
I didn't even know you could get kind of painting tutorials and you could do all that as you go. So why did you end up doing that? How did that even become a thing that you just did one day?
I have no idea. I think honestly, I don't know. I had canvases sitting in my room, and I was like, you know what, today I'm going to paint. I feel really, like, I literally have paintbrushes sitting, I'll show you. Paintbrushes sitting on my desk.
Oh.
And they were literally sitting there for ages, and I never touched them. And I was like, you know what, I'm going to paint. I feel like painting.
Mm-hmm.
And I bought a bunch of paint and stuff. And then I was on YouTube, and I was like, I've never painted a landscape. I want to paint a landscape. And then Bob Ross showed up, and I love Bob Ross. He's so cool. And he's just so happy and positive. And I think I ended up doing it on a stream that I was doing on Twitch. And I was like, I'll just stream it because it might be funny, because I'll obviously not be able to paint this. But it turns out Bob Ross is really, really good at telling you how to paint. And I've got another one over there that I've been following his tutorial and stuff. So I'm waiting to finish that. But he's really good. I didn't know you could get tutorials on how to like paint, because it's very like how you think, but he's literally like, oh, do this. And I'm like, okay.
I feel like I should just put it on and watch it. I don't think I'll necessarily follow along, but I've heard a lot of people that have said that his videos are quite soothing and quite
So soothing
and quite meditative. So I think I need that. I feel like I need chill time.
There's literally one of the episodes, he has a squirrel at the beginning. No purpose for this squirrel, but he's standing at the beginning with the squirrel with his like canvas and easel and a wee paint thing set up. And he's like, oh, hey everybody, I got my little friend here today. And all that, and it's just the way he talks. I was like, oh my god, this guy is my favorite. And then he just goes, well, we'll let him go now, and he just lets him go. And then I was like,
I need to find this immediately.
how wholesome. Honestly, I'll try and find it. It was one of the ones that I was trying to paint to. It's so wholesome, and he's literally just like, oh, there's little cloud, let's give it a friend and all that. I'm like, oh, it's so nice. It's so cute. And I'm obsessed. I am obsessed.
Oh my god, it sounds amazing.
Yeah, it's super cute.
I'm definitely gonna need that. It's the everybody.
I'll try and find it. I'll send it to you if I can find it.
Please do. Okay, so I had one last question here, and it's the same. It's another one that I asked the other day to Omar, but he gave such a good answer, and I asked this to everybody. I have started asking this to everybody just in a kind of casual. So, you know, if you're waiting in the, you're in the doctor's room and you're just waiting, and you just look to this person asking this question, it's a real head scratcher. So I thought I might just ask this to everyone because I really like the answers. So this is your last question. We're coming to the end of the interview.
No.
Oh, we might get a part 2 next year. We'll see what happens. Okay, so my last question for you today is, what is the closest thing to magic?
Oh. This is so difficult. Closest thing to magic. Oh, that's hard. Because I'm one of these people that absolutely, I was like, see when Harry Potter and that came out, I was like, oh my god, magic is so real. And I still love it. But closest thing to magic for me, I know it's gonna sound so stupid, but I have a severe fear of flying. So for me, for a plane to get in the air is still beyond like my belief. I'm like, how? So I'm genuinely like, every time I see a plane, I'm like, that is just crazy. I think, and then you could put it in a more smart way. This is those people that put on their like CVs. It's like, I can talk to people, and then someone's like, no, change it to, I can communicate to teams of higher and all this sort of stuff. So you could change it to, I find the most magic thing is the evolution of technology and the human brain and all that. Ooh! But genuinely, like, planes are crazy. Like, I always find them like so crazy, like, because they just go into the air. Same with rockets and stuff. The fact that we can go to space.
There's people up there. Like,
literally, Jeff Bezos is literally just about to go with a kid at 18 years old and an older lady, and I was like, oh my god.
it takes a while as well, doesn't it, to like
Yeah.
get to space? Doesn't it take like, oh no, it's not 5 days. Is it not like 7 or 5 days or something like that?
I have no idea, because I was just watching disbelief. I'm like, what? We can go to space? Like, it's crazy.
Like,
Like,
to space. Sorry, we're digressing here, but I need to know because I love
it's all
that
good.
answer. I love that answer about flying and about planes because I'm the same every time I'm in a plane. You forget the wings of the plane aren't flapping. It's
Flapping.
just like,
Yeah, it's just the power of like the jets and stuff. I still like, even if I spoke to like an engineer that builds planes, I would still just be like, but how? How did you work it out? Like, how did you find out that much jet propulsion or whatever it's called boosts you into the sky? How? And then, oh, I want to do that actually. I'm gonna find someone. That's my new job. I'm gonna go find someone to tell me all these answers. That's
I have a few answers here, but I don't know what. So it says the ISS missions called expeditions usually last about 6 months.
whoa. Is that for orbit, like going around, I guess?
Yeah. There are 3 to 6 crew members on board at all times. Professional astronaut crews come from the United States, Russia, Japan, Canada. So I've typed in how many days is it to get to space, and it's giving me all these weird answers. I'm like, just tell me how long. I can't. It's not telling me.
Oh, how rude.
I'm not.
Imagine going to space though with like 3 people and then you fall out with one of them. Like, you're stuck up there and they're going to be like talking to the other person and being like, I fell out with them. I don't know. Do they train you how to like fall back in like in a friendship with them up there? Do they train you? Like,
I can only imagine somebody saying like, you're literally stuck with this person, get over yourself. Get over
for 6 months.
Yeah, like,
oh gosh.
One likes Harry Potter, one likes Star Wars. They don't see eye to eye. Get over it.
That could be a sketch, by the way. Let's get a spaceship set.
Oh my god.
Stuck in space.
Jeff and I are in space, just kind of floating around like, hey man. You know, Star Wars is the best. You know why? Because we're in space. There's no Hogwarts out there.
Oh man. That would be amazing.
It'd be really good if we could get in one of those like no gravity rooms to shoot that.
I want to do that since COVID's over.
Let's go.
Like, do we have the budget? No, okay, it's fine. We'll just go anyway.
Get the social, a really nice letter asking for money.
Please.
Great idea.
Woo!
You did it.
They were fun questions.
Like
they were so good. They were so like, they literally made me think so hard. I'm so tired now.
Oh.
I'm like, oh. No, genuinely, they made me think quite a lot, which is stuff that you don't usually think about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because these are the type of questions that I end up asking, like, if we're out a walk, me and Omar or something, and we're not talking about anything, I'll be like, hey, why do you think dogs have like 4 legs? How do you think they evolutionate just to become dog and all this sort of stuff? You know, the weird questions you think up like out of nowhere. Like, how did that man know that he wanted to be an engineer? Like walking by an engineer and all that. I'm like, what? Like, this is the stuff we end up talking about. It's the most stupid stuff in the world, but it's the most amazing question. They're actually really important stuff.
These are the important questions. These are the questions people should be asking, you know?
Mm-hmm. It is. Because it's like, see, when we're on shoots and stuff, we always talk, if we're talking to whoever we're interviewing or whatever, I'm always like, what's your favourite food? And they're like, what? And I'm like, tell me your favourite food. Because if you tell me your favourite food, then I know something about you and it makes me feel a little bit more comfortable and you a little bit more comfortable. And then we can talk about food and it's always happy. And they feel so much more comfortable. I'm like, yay!
I remember doing that at a job interview once at the end. You know how they always do that awkward, do you have any questions for us?
Mm-hmm.
For a few years now, my go-to question has been, oh, like, why do you like working for the company? Like, I just try and keep
That's
it
good.
Good question. I just like to keep
Yeah.
it company based, which has helped me and stuff. Because you have to remember that as much as they're interviewing you, you're interviewing them as well.
Yeah.
I remember when I was like, I think I was 17 or 18, I was going for a job. And the woman was quite serious. I don't even remember where it was. And she was like, do you have any questions for me? And I was like, yeah, what's your favourite movie?
I love that.
She gave me was just, and she went, I'm sorry. And I was like, I just want to know what your favourite film is. And she was like, do you not have any questions about the company? And I was like, well, yes, I do. I thought that maybe if I
That's important.
more comfortable, and I was just dead honest with her, and I just asked. She never told me. I told her mine.
No?
No, she just went, oh,
That's rude.
I know, I didn't get the job anyway.
You don't want that job after that.
You won't even talk to me. Gosh.
I know, like, the thing is, if you end up working with people like in a place, you always talk to them about that stuff anyway, so yeah, not worth it. You don't want to work there.
I'll just ask you now, and if I get the job, then I'll know. And that's something.
Yeah.
And it wasn't an invasive question. That it's, you know, everyone has a favorite film or book or TV.
Yeah.
So I just like to know these things. I just like that.
I'm the same. Like, honestly, in an interview, I always was so awkward at the end of interviews, and they're like, do you have any questions? I'm like, and I know you're supposed to ask questions because it shows that like you're interested in all this, but I'm so shy when it comes to like things like that. So I was like, no, but the last interview I had, I was literally like, oh yes, and I couldn't think of anything, so I was just like, when will I find out? And they're like, oh, now? And I was like, oh, okay, thanks. It was for the interview to get into uni, and I was like, okay, did I get in? He was like, yeah. And I was like, oh, phew, thanks.
Amazing.
Thanks. Goodness.
Maybe then it's an appropriate time once you know you're in to then ask these questions.
Maybe, but hey, we're all human. We can ask these questions. People that don't want to answer them, me.
Okay, gosh, it's roasting. So I'm just looking at this little camera now because I'm getting ready to say my goodbye to Rebecca. Rebecca MacPhail, thank you so much for being here on the show. This has been, again, such a fun interview. 7 has definitely been in my favourites today because I've had so much fun hanging out with you and chatting and talking about squirrels and space and all the other crazy stuff we discussed today.
Yeah, it's been hilarious. It's been nice to just answer some very interesting questions. Good questions.
Good questions. Oh, thank you.
Very good questions.
So could you just tell people where they can find you on social media and stuff like that? Because I'm going to leave links down below, but just so I can put it across the screen here for anyone that might want to find you.
So you can find me on Instagram at Hey It's Becca Here. You can find me on Twitch, where I'm most active at the moment, at Hey It's Becca Here as well. Same on YouTube, same on Facebook, and same on Twitter. All Becca, Hey It's Becca Here.
Amazing. Well, again, thank you so much for being here. You were a delight to have on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me.
No problem at all. And I hope to see you again very soon.
Hopefully.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye to both cameras. Bye.